Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hey, Dennis.
Hey, Craig. How are you?
Oh, doing just great. Man, has it been a crazy August?
Yeah, and now it's rainy and crappy today, so thanks for reminding me that it used to be nice.
It did. You know what? It's almost in Vancouver. It seems like, we have sun, and then all of a sudden September 1, well, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then it's rain. We don't freeze up here in Vancouver. We rust.
Or melt.
So, hey, everybody. It's Craig and Dennis again. This is our Millionaire Mastermind training. And today we're going to be talking about it's September. It's hard to believe still. It's September 1st tomorrow. And, I'm excited.
What do we do to get prepared for the busy season? So for those on the call that aren't aware, there's a couple of seasons, right? MLM actually has seasons. Now, we don't always tell everyone about these seasons, but there's actually seasons. And your busiest season for MLM basically starts in September and goes till the middle of December.
Yeah.
And then things flatline a little bit and you got to, plant a lot of seeds and get ready for the next busy season, because the second little busy season sort of starts mid to end February and goes through till June. And then, of course, summer gets in the way. So you've just been through the summer, where if you've been watching us and paying attention to us, you're sowing seeds, you're planting seeds, you're resparking up relationships. You're not necessarily going for the close, but you should have been doing something. You should have been filling the pipeline.
And let's talk about that, because I want to say, to you out there that have been watching us, you may not have seen the success that you had expected for enrollments over the summer, because that happens all the time. Because you got to work twice as hard to get half the results.
That's right.
I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, that's what happens in the summer. We tell you to keep on going out there to build your business, but we know what happens in the summer. It's called the summer.
It's called the summer. People get hard to get a hold of. People aren't willing to make decisions. People are off to the next barbecue. They're off to the next weekend retreat. They're off to the next holiday with the kids, or holiday away from the kids if they're lucky. Oh, sorry. Everyone's not on the same page about that as me, I guess.
But it's also true. I mean, and it's the last day of the month. So there's a lot of you out there that are working your tail off. You've been working really hard to hit your numbers.
Trying to hit your qualifications.
But you know what? Good for you.
That's right.
Because now that means you're poised to be able to hit September rocking and rolling instead of starting from scratch.
It's like it takes 2 times as much effort to enroll someone through the summer, but that effort gets returned to you 4 times over come September. So all of you that have been paying attention and doing what we were teaching you and filling the pipeline and talking to people and reconnecting and playing it cool and doing a couple of blog posts, now's the time when you have to start thinking about, okay, do I dust off my list? Do I put an ad budget together to do some advertising?
Yes.
To promote my blog posts? Was I doing blog posts? Was I branding myself? Was I doing anything that Craig and Dennis have talked about?
Right.
If you haven't, then you got a lot more work to do.
Well, here's
than those of you that were doing something.
Things to do. Look right now at your say LinkedIn. How many and go back over, because LinkedIn actually shows you how many people have been viewing your profile, and you can go back and see that and how sick. Have you been working hard? Have you been adding new contacts and new connections to your LinkedIn daily? If you saw my, a few months ago, I guess, a number of months back when I did my LinkedIn training.
We should dust that one off again.
That's a good one to dust off, because if you haven't dusted it off, go back onto the houraday.com website, and it's there in its entirety, how to build your business through LinkedIn. And it's a powerful tool, and many people aren't doing it. That's right. And I never used LinkedIn before. So when I created the LinkedIn strategy, it was based on my 20 some odd years of MLM knowledge and my limited knowledge of LinkedIn. And I didn't have a lot, but I went, if I'm going to build this business, I got to take high tech and I got to take high touch. And I figured out that I connected with people that immediately responded to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes, if somebody didn't respond, like you see that because you get notifications. I make sure that all my LinkedIn notifications go to my smartphone, because I want to know when somebody connects
immediately.
Because the faster you connect with somebody, the better a chance for a response. And over the summer, I've been doing that.
Nice.
I've been connecting with people. I've been teaching people to connect with people. Because you know what? My phone has now been beeping a lot more, because now people are waking up. The kids are back to school. Yeah. Well, in the United States,
there's a lot of states where they're already back in school. Ours don't go back until the Labor Day weekend's over. But, now we got to start dusting it all off, right? Yeah. We got to get that LinkedIn going again. If you wrote a couple of cool blog entries, then you should be referencing them on your Facebook and then promoting that post, right? You should be doing everything you can now to say, okay, moving forward into September, how do I get as many eyeballs on me as possible? So start spending some money on promoting posts. Possibly look at some LinkedIn advertising. Facebook advertising is super simple. It's super cheap. You can squeeze it down to just your local area. You can't necessarily overtly promote MLM on Facebook because they will probably not approve you. But you can promote a post that is talking about something about you, about whatever, even if it's just how great of a summer you had and little references to what you do. And of course, a link to your replicated website or prospecting system of the company you're with. So now's the time to start getting all that stuff turned on, so that if you didn't grow a warm market over the summer, that you've got a cold market to start working with, because eyeballs are starting to pay attention now. Now's when you spend on advertising to get quality people.
Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about Facebook, and promoting your ads on Facebook. You know, everybody thinks I've got all these friends on Facebook, which you really don't. But what they don't realize is that the metrics have changed.
Yeah, much.
And not everybody's seeing everything you post. You think if you're posting there every day, people are seeing all your posts that are your friends.
That's right.
Well, they're not. Like it was it 2%?
2% of your following, whether you've got a corporate page and you've got, 5,000 people that like you or follow you, 2% of any given post at most is getting through. So you got to know that if only 2% is getting through, what's the big deal if you start spending $5 a day on Facebook ads to boost a couple of your posts to get some new eyeballs in that may just decide? Now, obviously, you don't boost a post on your actual personal feed. You should be setting up a proper place that you can keep your MLM segregated from your personal feed, right? If you can keep your MLM stuff segregated from your personal feed, so only the friends that care about the MLM stuff are on the MLM page, you're going to keep your friends longer, and they're not going to unfollow you. And of course, now you've got a really, really easy place to start sharing and promoting posts.
And those of you that don't are using your personal Facebook page, that's great. But once again, what's the ratio, Dennis, of business posts to your MLM business posts? What should, I mean, rule of thumb.
I mean, in a normal rule with business, it's 80-20, right? Never more than 20% of your posts are about business. In MLM, I'd even say that you probably want to keep it to under 10%. Right? The more you think you're getting your friends interested by posting more often, the more likely you're driving them away, which is why, again, from my point of view, your better strategy is make a page. Even if you make a second account, which is your MLM account, instead of having an actual page that you promote, do something to segregate your friends that have already said no from your potential prospects, and you'll just keep a lot more of your friendships intact. Or you'll find yourself sitting with your friend and looking through their Facebook feed, if they're brave enough to let you, to see that none of your stuff shows up on their feed. They got bored of you.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. And opening up, some people that have been networking for a while, you hit your limit.
Yeah.
You're at 5,000 friends. And now today, take a look at that. If you're at 5,000 friends, I guarantee you don't have 5,000 friends. I guarantee you got 5,000.
Time for a call.
It's probably time to take a look and see who's actually responding to your stuff and who isn't. Right. And pare that down to the people. Because, if you're at 5,000 friends, how can you use Facebook to effectively
make a page? You can have unlimited followers to a page, as far as I know. It's only your personal account that you're limited to 5,000. So make a page and start using your post to promote. Make your personal post, promote your page until you have the people that want to be in your other place, and then promote the crap out of that and get followers over there, and leave your personal as your personal. Let it be your downline. Let it be your true friends. And don't spend too much of your time talking MLM on it. It's a better strategy. Keep your two worlds segregated, and that way you can be inviting people to the other world that want to go there, instead of forcing them to hear it from you all the time.
So what I do in that situation, Dennis, because LinkedIn is for business.
Yes.
Okay. So all my stuff on LinkedIn, I don't talk about what I had for breakfast, where I went. Yeah. I went and did this, or I went and did that, and picked pictures of my scrambled eggs and my really cool sushis and stuff that we do on Facebook. Yeah. Okay. And I connect with people on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is business.
Yes.
Okay. And that's why I am on LinkedIn. I'm connecting with business people. Those people that I then form a relationship with, if I allow them to, because I formed a relationship, I then slowly work that relationship to say, maybe you want to see a little bit more about me personally and my life on Facebook.
Yeah.
And those are the people that then become the real connections.
Yes.
Because now they get to see my business life. But then they also, if they choose, get to see a picture of me and my grandson and some of the stuff that I talk about, with my MLM and some of the things that are happening there that are posted through Facebook.
Yeah.
But it allows somebody to see the real you, because typically the Facebook page is Typically, now we understand it's not for sure, but typically that's more the real you.
Yeah. And you can do the same thing with a page and your personal, because what you do is you post yourself on the personal, and then you go and you actually share that post through your page. So you follow your, obviously you're following yourself. So you can actually cross post into your business for the case where someone's not quite ready to be fully on your page, or sorry, fully on your personal. So there's still a halfway place as well, depending on your comfort level.
Right.
I actually only recently started letting a lot of business people onto my personal feed, and that was only because in Japan, Facebook is used for business. They don't use LinkedIn at all. So suddenly I have my Facebook feed's a total disaster because it's got all my friends on it, and now it's got all my Japanese business connections through Small Business Dream on it. And, I sometimes feel a bit weird about what I have to post because I post too personal. It's not good for the business side. I don't post personal enough, and all my friends start to think that my personal feed's for business. So I've failed rather miserably at that, but we'll work it out.
And that's all it. I mean, if your business isn't where you want it to be right now in your MLM, whether you've been with your company for a month, a year, or 5 years, today's the day for you to start fresh. Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow is the first day of your next 90 days. That's right. It is the crazy 90 days. I mean, September, October, November. This is the money month.
This is the month you build a massive team quickly. If you can't build a massive team quickly in this period, then your skills aren't there, and you need to really work on getting them up before this time of year rolls around next year.
How do you get those skills there, Dennis?
Oh, well, I mean, you could watch trainings like ours.
It's true. And remember, that doesn't count towards your hour a day of building your business. But everything that we've taught over the past couple of months, we've been doing a webinar every week, and we've been teaching something new.
That's right.
And basically what we've been doing over the last 2 to 3 months is we've created a really good database that you can get at houraday.com. Just log in, go into your back office, and go in and to the trainings, and they're all there.
That's right.
So all the videos, they're typically 45 minutes to an hour.
Yep.
It's like watching a movie, not even that, like
step by step.
But
here's the key, right? Because we got to mention the key. It's actually no good to just watch our videos, even if we're entertaining, even if you think we're funny, or you think we're dumb, or you think we're totally crazy. It doesn't do you any good to watch our videos unless you actually take action and put into place the things we're teaching and actually do it, right? Action supersedes everything in MLM.
Yes, it does.
And the number one reason people don't get paid is they spend all their time getting trained and they never actually do any of the things they were taught.
There you go. And Matthew's just putting, he's got 5,000 friends and another page for business as well. Yes. And having 5,000 friends, we've got a lot of people that we know with 5,000 friends on Facebook. And it's time for a call, Matthew. You know what? It's time to go and purge.
That's right.
Because 5,000 people that are friends with you means it's very difficult for you to go and add new friends, because now you got to delete friends before you can add friends.
Hey man, I get told on one of my pages constantly that I could get a whole bunch more people following me in Malaysia, because I got 5,000 followers on that page, and somehow they're all in Malaysia. Because I think at one time I bought into one of those, you can have like 1,000 followers delivered for $10, and I'm like, back when that was cool at Facebook and actually got you something. So I did that. Yeah. And it was all a bunch of fake accounts in Malaysia. They're still all there. I don't take them off because, it makes the page look like there's lots of people following it.
But really, I mean, it's funny. How many friends do you have on Facebook? Go and post right now today and say you need to borrow some money.
that won't even work if they're real friends.
Then you're going to find out, no, just $20. You say you got to borrow $20. Like, you know what? You're just short, or somebody, you post that, see how many friends you really got, and they'll loan you $20.
I hate to tell you, if someone posted that, I'd never reply to them. Sorry, you can do it, but I don't think anyone's going to.
You tell them you're dying. Right. How many show up to your funeral?
Tell them that
you're dead.
You're in the hospital.
Oh, there you go.
Right? Remember, number one excuse when you call for a 3 that was scheduled is my brother's in the hospital.
Somebody died, or somebody's in the hospital. It is the number one excuse. I don't know about you guys, but yes, the number one excuse for the year 2016. Probably 15, 14, 13, 12,
probably since
forever has been, I'm sorry, I didn't look at your stuff because my mom's in the hospital, my kid's in the hospital, somebody got hurt, or somebody died.
My dog's in the hospital.
Yeah. Somebody's always in the hospital, somebody's dead.
It's amazing. I mean, you'd think we need more hospitals.
What's worse though is when somebody actually does die.
Yeah.
We're second guessing. We're jaded. We're that jaded. It's like somebody died. Yeah, sure they did.
So should I call you tomorrow or next week?
And I mean, that sounds bad, but I mean, you hear it so often.
You hear it so often, and you know, half the time it's true, half the time it's not true, and unfortunately, you're never going to know which half. So your job is to just keep doing your job.
Yeah. You know, when you use the hour a day note system, and that's always in the notes, somebody always seems to be dying.
Yeah.
You get to know if it's true or not, because you can actually put Aunt Jane. Well, who died today? Aunt Jane.
Yeah.
But when she dies 6 months again, 6 months down the road.
Funny, when you actually offer your condolences for their loss, they're stunned. They're like, huh?
Yeah, where can I send flowers?
That's right.
Where
You've got the note from 2 weeks ago, and now you're consoling them on their loss, and they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll run into all kinds of stuff in the follow-up. And of course, from all of your connections over the summer, what do you need to be doing now? Immediately, as of Tuesday of next week, at the very latest, if you're in the US, as of right now, you need to be getting on top of your follow-ups. You need to be starting to schedule appointments. Find out when your next corporate event is. Start building towards that. Make a 90-day plan. The best thing you can do is make a 90-day plan, right? We talked to you about how do you get to $10,000 a month over the course of the year with leverage, and how many people you need to sponsor every month, and how many people you need to talk to every week. Put that in place and go hard for the next 90 days, and it'll change your life.
Well, people don't plan to fail.
No.
They fail to plan. And really, if you haven't got a game plan, and we talked about that, a few weeks back on our training about goal setting, and how you can go and take where your goal wants to be, and how you need to go and then take
reverse
that back
engineer it,
and what you need to do every day to be successful.
And you got to remember, once you get it down to what you need to do every day, you can't decide that I'm kind of tired today, I'll do twice as much tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. We're dealing with leverage. It has to compound. Every day you take off potentially kills your cycle of compounding. So trying to stack it all up for Sunday, interestingly enough, going to get you way, way, way less results than if you actually get to your daily plan and stick to your daily plan. And you'll stay more motivated if you stick to a daily plan. It's easy to do, right?
Yeah.
When you only needed to do an hour on Monday, that's pretty good. And then you leave that and you don't do it till Tuesday and you got 2 hours, it's harder to find 2 hours. Next thing you know, on Friday, you need 5 hours, but it's Friday night, and then it's Saturday and Sunday. Oh my gosh, the whole week went by and you didn't do your hour a day at all. But you're gonna do twice, you're gonna do 2 hours a day next week, right? Don't play.
Oh, I'm gonna double it up. No. Well, I mean, tomorrow, I'm sure you're taking the whole day off tomorrow because it's your birthday.
I thought you were coming over for us to do some work.
Oh my God. Are you working on your birthday? Isn't that the easiest excuse to take the whole day off? Usually, don't people take the whole week off?
On my birthday.
I don't think it's every day you don't work. I mean,
yeah, this is true.
I mean, do you ever really not work? I mean, especially in our business and network marketing, and that's where our spouses or our significant others need to understand. You don't have a set number of hours. You work when you need it. Sometimes that's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Depends if you have people in other time zones, right?
Right. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know what it is about you people on the East Coast. I don't get it. I don't get why you don't realize that 9 o'clock in the morning is 6 a.m. over here on the West Coast. That's
and you know what? I don't even blame the individuals because like banks and big institutions call at 6 in the morning from Ontario because they've subbed out to some company that apparently doesn't have good enough software to make them aware that it's 6 in the morning and the chance of me answering my phone is just about 0. And then they leave a message telling me to call them back.
No. Yeah, it is kind of funny. So remember, you can never call me too late.
Well, you can never call me too late.
But no, because I mean, even at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's only midnight.
That's right.
Right. So you can't call me too late, but you can always call me too early.
Right.
That's what I tell everybody, on the teams.
We actually made an app called Silence My Phone. And then, of course, Apple brought out the ability to do that. There's a really cool little button on your phone, everyone. And all you got to do is flip it up and push the little privacy thing, and it'll make your phone turn off. Or you can set it on a schedule and say at 12 o'clock, don't bug me about anything. I recommend everybody does this because then you do actually have the ability to get your 8 hours of sleep. And don't worry, your phone will have all those little notifications on it reminding you in the morning when you woke up that people tried to get you, and then you can call them back and you can tell them how great it is that you had 8 hours sleep and now you're ready to go.
And you do need to get that, everybody. I mean, you can't do this 24/7. You do need to go, and you need to, when you're looking at your next 90 days, you need to be able to structure your 90 days so that you are getting exercise, that you're getting sleep, that you're doing things with your family, you're scheduling that in, you're taking time with your significant other. You know, you're doing the things for yourself you normally do. If you go to church on Sunday, you set that up. You don't take away from the things that you're doing. Right. You've got to still build your business around your life. You got to have a life. And you
need a schedule, right? So go get Calendly or just get a Google Calendar going. Block out the time that's important. Block out the kid stuff. Block out whatever, and then make sure you actually block out the times you plan to work and stick to it, just as if it was important as your kid's piano recital. So you need to really get structured. If you're going to build this in an hour a day on a part-time basis, you have to make sure you're doing the hour a day, and you've planned on Sunday where that hour a day is going to fit into your busy life, right? It may be 15 minutes at a lunch appointment because you could get someone. Whatever it may be, you need to actually have a bit of a plan on how you're going to get your hour a day. An hour a day sounds so simple, Craig.
Oh, it does.
But it's not that easy when we have kids and we have wives and we have friends and we have family and we have jobs and all of this other stuff as we're building it on a part-time basis. You have to get organized to make sure you get that hour a day, or your income is going to grow at the rate that you deserve it to grow.
Yeah, and let's talk about, setting a schedule. For instance, I went on a 45-day, 6-week boot camp.
That's right.
I knew I needed to exercise, and I knew from 9:30 to 10:15, I went to a location that allowed me to go get my butt kicked for 45 minutes, and I did it every day. And as soon as I quit the boot camp and I said I was going to do it on my own, do you know how hard it was? I said to myself, I'm going to go at 9:30. I'm going to set my own schedule. I'm going to do it. Boy, it was so easy in 9:30 came up, but I didn't have to be somewhere. And that happened for a few days. And then the next thing you realize, I'm not doing my boot camp anymore. I was going to do it by myself. That's why they have boot camp.
That's right.
So guess what? I'm going back to boot camp because I can't do it on my own.
So set yourself up some accountability in your business so that through the busiest months of September, October, and November, you have somebody who you've partnered up with, whether it's your upline, whether it's your sideline, whether it's a good friend, to help keep you on track. You need to be able to send them a text message in the morning and say, look, here's my goals for today. Send them a text message at night telling them that you accomplished your goals or you didn't. And then you better explain, right? Become accountable to your schedule, become accountable to your hour a day, become accountable to your multi-level marketing business, and you will change your life and your family's life. And of course, the friends that decide to believe in you and join with you, you change their lives too. But without accountability, without scheduling, without treating it like a business, you will get paid exactly what you're worth. So if it's a hobby to you, how much do your other hobbies pay you? Great. You should make about that much with this one too.
Right. So, I mean, that's really what September is all about. September is now a chance to start now taking what you've done over the summer. Now, if you haven't done anything over the summer, because that's going to be out there, sorry, everybody, if you took the summer off.
You didn't do anything over the summer, phone me because I got some words for you.
But
if you're representing yourself as a leader that's really going to go build the business, I got words for you.
But if you didn't, so we're gonna go both ways. So if you have, even though you've been watching and you have all the intention, but you have no action, but you had lots of intention, and now you're thinking, okay, time to dust myself off. Right. I'm ready to go. I mean, do it. Don't keep on procrastinating now, because you know what? You could get away with a little procrastination over the summer. It's you can justify that in your mind. Okay, well, we're not going to let you. We'll keep on.
Yeah.
But you can justify that in your mind. It's the summer. Okay, summer's over, everybody. It's done. So the excuses are gone.
There's another excuse gone.
Now get up, pick up the thing that weighs 500 pounds. That's your phone. Start making some calls. Yeah. Start making connections. Put together your list. A list. Really?
Yeah. And you know what? Again, if you don't have a list and you weren't listening to us over the summer to help grow your list, then what's your plan for getting new people to talk to? Are you going to go 3 foot? Are you going to spend a bit of advertising? Are you going to join an hour a day ad co-op to have us generate some leads for you? Right? What's your plan to move your business forward? Because if you keep saying, I don't have a list, I don't have a list, I don't have a list, and you don't go meet people to make a list, and you don't do the LinkedIn stuff that's free to make a list, and you don't get into an ad co-op to make the list, what the heck are you going to do to make a list?
Exactly.
Sorry, I got a little excited there.
But we talked about this in so many of our trainings, and it always leads back to the same thing. You gotta have people to talk to. You gotta have new people to talk to every day, and you actually have to pick up the phone and talk with them. You think about that. You have 5,000 friends on Facebook. Even if you have 500 friends on Facebook, How many of those 500 friends or 100 friends on Facebook do you talk to? Have you physically talked to on a regular basis?
Yeah. And maybe it's not even talked to with a voice call. Even think about it. How many of them have you had any communication with at all? Because the ones that you have had actual communication with, where you've actually commented on their posts, they've commented back on your posts, those are actual real friends. Now, are they going to be in your business? Doesn't really matter. But the point is, you probably don't have more than 50 of them that you've actually had interaction with in the last 30 days. So don't get excited about 5,000 friends on Facebook changing your business unless you have a plan on how to get them into a pipeline to where they're starting to follow a system like an hour-a-day system or a prospecting system or the tour of your website that your company provides on your replicated website, whatever it is. If you don't have a plan to get those 5,000 people to decide if they're interested, to look at what you have to say or not, and then actually follow through and do that to get them to the point where they're on a list where you can contact them anytime, unlike Facebook that you post and they ignore, but maybe an email address or maybe something reminding you to send them a Facebook Messenger message. If you're not converting that to useful data, your 5,000 followers on Facebook is essentially useless to your MLM future.
So how do you turn those 5,000 followers? How do you turn them into real prospects? Well, I'll tell you the easiest way to do it, through a simple Facebook message. Use Facebook Messenger. Direct message them and start weeding out a little bit every day. Because okay, if you're like Matthew who says he's got 5,000 friends on Facebook, okay, you're not gonna purge that list overnight.
No, so set yourself a goal. I'm gonna get rid of 25 people a day on my list.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna do anything until I got rid of them. Or I'm not gonna go to bed. Actually, you know what? Facebook purging is a better thing to do when you can't be making phone calls. So do that at night. Say, okay, look, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I'm getting rid of 25 people. And don't say from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I'm gonna go purge people. You need to set how many you're gonna purge, because otherwise you're gonna get sidetracked. And if you get sidetracked, you deserve to be up until midnight or 1 in the morning to finish the obligation you set for yourself, which was to get rid of 25 people.
Yeah.
You have to make your accountability really, really strict, or you'll get distracted. It's the internet. It's built to distract you.
Sure it is.
You're going to be going to delete someone. You're going to see an interesting post. You're going to make a comment on it. Then you go, oh, maybe I should get rid of them. Maybe I shouldn't. And then you're going to get busy. And then you're going to suddenly find out that you got rid of 2 people in your hour. But boy, did you have a good time and feel good about yourself. Yeah. No, you should feel like crap about yourself because you didn't do what you said you were going to do.
If you've had no communications with them, you don't even know who they are. That's the easiest way to purge. You have no idea who they are.
You know what I would do if I didn't know who they were? I would literally send them a direct message saying, you know what? I'm just trying to clean up my Facebook list, and I actually don't think I know you. Do you have any idea how we became friends?
Yeah.
And guess what? It might just spark a conversation that leads you to having them say, hey, so anyways, tell me a bit about yourself. I looked at your profile. I see you're into this, that, and the other thing. And then I go, oh, crap, I better go look at his profile, see what he's into.
Yeah, so, you know, they're probably friends of a friend. I mean, the easiest way to look, how many friends in common do you have?
That's usually where you can figure out where they came from.
Right? So usually you figure that out. I mean, you know, if you look at it, you go, oh, yeah, I went to high school with them. Okay, I should remember that. You know, if you've got 79 friends in common and they're all from the same city, guess what? You probably went to school with them. That's
or an event in that city.
Right.
So the point is, as you purge, though, you might as well purge by taking that Hail Mary pass to see if they might be interested in what you're doing. Yeah. And then if they're not, they're purged.
Exactly. They
don't
respond
reason to be there.
They don't respond to your direct message within 24 hours.
You're out.
Why? You know, I mean, why would you want to talk to them? I mean,
I wouldn't.
Especially if you got a big list.
If you're just saying, hey, I'm not sure how we got to know each other, right? We're not pitching our MLM on that first message. We're just trying to figure out where the relationship came from. Oh, well, we both know Fred. Oh, great. Yeah. Hey, what's Fred doing these days? By the way, what are you doing these days? Oh, my gosh, they might just ask you the same thing. And then you can send them off to your hour-a-day prospecting system.
The cool thing about Facebook is that they can find out about you. Yeah. If you're smart, you've got in the About Me section, you've got some information about what you're doing. They can click on links. They can go and if they want to go and they want to dig further, throw your LinkedIn profile link up there. I mean, they want to go see the business end of you, find out more stuff about. These are things that you can do. Throw your MLM link in the About Me page.
There you go.
Right? It's really simple. Your website is there. If they choose to go and click on that and find out more information about you, they're going to do it.
That's right.
And that's if you've got an hour a day, even better. You got an hour-a-day prospecting system. Have your prospecting URL.
You got a way to collect and control the data, right? So the key is, over the next week, you need to be doing everything you can to be moving all of your contacts and connections and anything you accumulated over the summer or neglected over the summer back into your sales funnel, back into getting them to an answer, right? You don't care. No's perfect. Get them off your list. Great. This is a no. Fantastic. Never bother them again. Find out who wants to come and play with you and start working towards that by organizing yourself immediately, right? The rest of this week and the weekend, be organizing and doing at the same time so that come the beginning of next week, you're out there and you're smashing on that phone on Labor Day Monday evening. Why not?
Now on LinkedIn, what I do is when I'm connecting with somebody and that I ask a simple question. We've connected on LinkedIn for a reason. Okay, so now we're connected. Thanks for the connection. Now, how can I help make our connection mutually beneficial?
Right.
Right. I want to know, what is it that I can do to help you?
Yeah.
And what maybe can you do to help me? How can we help each other? Because we're on, I'm using LinkedIn for an example. Yeah. We're on LinkedIn because it's a business building site. So you've got some goals and dreams and ideas of why you're on it. So it's just like I've got some.
It's just like a networking event, but it's online.
Yeah.
So treat it the same way, right?
But use that open-ended question. Tell me more about what you're looking for.
Yeah.
What can I do? You? I've got a bunch of leads. Like when I'm connecting with people, I'm connected with thousands of MLM people.
Yes.
And that's what I have to offer. I'm connected with thousands of MLMers on my LinkedIn profile. Yeah. And I'm happy to have you be part of my LinkedIn connections. Yeah. So now you're basically connected with thousands of MLMers. Yeah. So be respectful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But tell me about what you're looking for. You know, then I always do, are you open or are you focused? I mean, this is so big. I mean, if somebody is focused on what they're doing, they're not going to join you in your business. Don't pitch them. Be friends. You guys, we talk about this all the time. Tell them about the system that you're using, like hour a day. You know, talk about other things. Maybe this webinar. Use this webinar as an example. Look, I go on this really cool webinar. There's a couple of crazy Canucks that are doing a webinar every Wednesday, and they teach some really cool stuff. And there's no prospecting that.
That's right. So the key is, as you're approaching people that are in MLM, the more you can keep the focus on doing something of value for them, giving them a tool. And it doesn't have to just be hour a day. Go search MLM tools and you'll find 20 things that are pretty cool out there. Put them on a list and start having, hey, you know, would you mind if I sent you an email with my 20 favorite MLM tools that aren't specific to any company, or my 3 or my whatever? Just know that your first connection, or as you're reconnecting, if you can be offering something of value to them, you'll make a friend out of it. And then when the timing's right for both of you, either you'll join them or they'll join you, or maybe you'll stay friends forever, but at least you won't kill the relationship because you got too greedy to push for something that wasn't supposed to happen. Right. And now they're not your friend, right? You want to have friends and mentors. Go build friends and mentors if they say they're focused on something else. Let time take care of the focus. They'll either stay focused and so will you, and you'll be great mentors, or one of your companies will run into some problems, or you'll run into a belief problem, or they'll run into a belief problem, and you'll immediately think of possibly teaming up because you've been so respectful to each other.
I mean, it happened, you know, it's happened to me, happened to me just a couple of weeks ago. Met with somebody that I've known for years. Yeah. Timing was never right. He was doing his thing. I've been doing my thing. And all of a sudden his thing wasn't his thing anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
aren't you glad I told you to call him?
Yeah. Pick up the phone, make a call, and, you know, have a cup of coffee.
You're like, what for? Just phone him.
Yeah. And you know what? You just never know where somebody's at the right time.
That's right.
And that's somebody that, you know, I've been connected with literally for 15 years.
It's a timing business.
And I mean, the same thing happened in yours. You had a friend that you were solid in your business. He was solid in his. You guys agreed to never prospect each other. Right. And it was like 10 years.
That's right.
Before the timing's right for you, your business went out, and then you went and joined him because.
And then he wasn't even paying attention. He thought I was joking. I mean, I said, okay, I'm ready to join. Like, you got to come and, you know, tell me what it's about. And he didn't call me back. And I said, okay, look, if you don't call me back within the next hour, I'm joining with another team. He was downtown in an hour and 5 minutes. And we got going. So keep the relationships alive. Keep them respectful. Yeah. Don't do the little underhanded, oh, did you know that our company just got a really new product? You know, and it's just really the greatest thing, and the best designer in the world is designing it. And, you know, I'm not prospecting you or anything. I'm just hoping that if I keep talking about all the cool stuff my company's doing, you might just actually join me. Notice how I'm maintaining absolutely no eye contact. because that's exactly what they would be doing to you right now. Is they're going, okay, well, so much for our mentoring relationship. I'm not going to answer your phone calls or go for coffee with you anymore. Don't do it.
Exactly. Make friends, genuine.
Friends.
And actually have their best interest at heart. You know what? That's what we built businesses over the past 2 decades, and we've helped so many people that weren't in our downlines, that weren't even in our companies.
That's right.
And help them become successful.
Yeah.
And you know what? It may not directly benefit you, but indirectly it always will.
Always does. You know what? The guy that I eventually joined after things were right, and then I didn't end up building much of a business with him. It just wasn't a good fit for me. I moved on. But, you know, I was in Houston, Texas on business, and he was in Roatan, which happened to have a direct flight. And he's like, hey, why don't you come down to Roatan? And so even though we're now just friends, right? I booked a ticket at my expense to jump on a plane to go down to see him in Roatan. And then it turns out it was his 50th birthday. I extended the stay and celebrated a 50th birthday with him. And that was all because we're good friends. So even though we were mentors and friends that then got into business together and that didn't work out, we maintained the friendship, and he's a good enough friend that I'd get on a plane to go see the guy. So just know that this is real what you're building here if you treat it with respect. If you just keep hammering on each other about your MLMs, it's not going to work. It's not going to grow into a friendship that you'd fly, you know, jump on a flight across the ocean to go to, you know, the Honduran rebel colony of Honduras.
Well, you're going to China.
I gotta go to China.
You got to go to China. There's a friend from networking, from building a business, and he literally said, "Dennis, I owe you one. I'm going to China.
I owe you one. You're coming to China with me."
I mean, like that's not so bad. I mean, have fun in China. I tell you.
So much for my free trip. I just got my visa application in. $199.05 for a visa to China. Boy, I'm going to drink a lot the first place he takes me. Got to recover my money.
but there's another example of, you know, building a business. I mean, you've traveled the world and you haven't built an MLM company
Not
for
in 20 some years.
Quite that long.
Well, I mean, I've had Internetnextstep for 20, so
yeah,
it's
pretty crazy.
The way it is.
So, you know, it's a great industry. Enjoy it. Have fun. Take some of the things that we're teaching you here today and sharing with you. You know, you don't have to do what we say.
Nope.
It's okay. I mean, a lot of times I don't do what he says. It costs me money usually when I don't do what he says. But
it's on a corporate level. Yeah. Although networkers typically also get cost a lot of money when they don't do what their upline's telling them. So you know what? Make a 90-day plan. Call your upline today and say, hey, you got to help me make a 90-day plan. I plan to really step on the accelerator. I promise to put an hour a day. And first of all, watch their head fall right off, because you'll be the first person ever that went to them and said, I need you to help me make a plan and keep me accountable. And I'm going to do my hour a day. I'm not going to be like all the other people. I want you to make it go. Yeah. And you know what? You may just find that you're willing to work harder than your upline. And you're going to actually have your upline working extra hard just because of your efforts, and everybody wins. I
also suggest, Dennis, that you take a look at your downline, your sponsors, and you connect with every single one of them. Say, look, I'm starting a 90-day plan.
Yeah.
And I want I'm looking for my leaders. I'm looking for the people that are going to jump on this plan with me, and I'm going to be really focused. Those that are focused with me will have my attention.
That's right.
Those that are not, you try to get a hold of me, you're probably not going to get a hold of me.
Leave a message. I'll get back to you after I'm done with all of the people that are trying harder.
Yeah. And amazing what happens when they phone you, they don't get a hold of you, because you've probably always been available for them. And, you know, it's like, oh my goodness, he phoned, he's doing a 3-way, you know, and now you're not available. Guess what? Because you're busy.
You know, we hear it all the time with software clients. Oh, Dennis, the sign-up's too complicated. All right. And isn't it interesting that when a client has a member that's complaining the sign-up's too complicated, it invariably always comes back to the same thing. The person complaining it's too complicated never actually enrolled themselves. So therefore, when their member that knows nothing is complaining to them it's complicated, they don't know what to do. So you'll find in this business, the sign-ups aren't too complicated, because if you've done it right, you'll know how to do it and you'll be able to teach it. And that's the power of MLM. All MLM sign-ups are a little bit complicated. We have to deal with a whole bunch of laws and do a bunch of things in the right order. So just know that if you're ever getting into someone complaining about something not working, take a look at what they're actually doing, because chances are it's not working because they haven't been taught it, or they didn't listen when they were being taught it.
Yeah.
So it'll always track to a problem further up the chain. It's never the thing that they're talking about that has them stuck.
It's true. And a lot of times the objection that they have is the biggest objection that they're getting is the biggest objection they have themselves.
That's right.
Right.
It's amazing. If you found that the product was too expensive, you're going to be so surprised that everyone you meet thinks the product's too expensive. And that's because you're going to be incredibly accepting and possibly, without even realizing it, pushing that objection onto them. So just know that you got to get onto the process. You got to show your corporate presentation that shows the business and the products in half and half. Every post should talk about the products and the business. You should never have a product only post. You should never have a business only post. Everything in equal. It'll help you with the regulators. It'll keep you out of jail. And it will give you better results. I know, but our products are the best ever. Whatever. Show your best ever products in combination with your business every time you talk to people and watch your business take off.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, we hope that kind of got you excited for what you got to do.
Get your plan.
You literally, you just got to take action. The time is now.
Action supersedes everything.
That's right.
And it's even more true in MLM.
So go back through your hour-a-day site. Check out all the different things that we talked about. Watch, go back to the beginning. Do a little bit of, your own, get back to the basics.
But remember, 1 hour of watching those videos is not your hour a day to your business. Nope. That's what you do when you can't be making calls, you can't be inviting, you can't be pushing your list forward, you can't be expanding your list. Don't get sucked into thinking that those 45-minute videos means you only have 15 more minutes of work to do.
There you go. And you know what? We're going to be here next week. And hopefully you're joining us and you've got your team with you. Make it a challenge. Make it a challenge for you that if you're doing things right, you've got your team on this call next week.
And I think, we should do the LinkedIn training again so that anyone who's feeling they don't have enough prospects, we should dive back into the LinkedIn training. Maybe we attach sort of how you could do a similar thing in Facebook. And we go into something that's all about helping the people who say, okay, summer's over. I don't have a list. How am I going to get going? Let's show them how to get going.
You know what? It's a great way to go. And it's the perfect timing to do that. So you bring your team on.
Social networking to raise your MLM business done right by Dennis and Craig. Join us next week.
We'll see you then. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.